Hello everyone! I am so happy that you are here and welcome to lesson number 343 of A Course in Miracles. What is a miracle? A miracle is a correction. It does not create nor really change at all. It merely looks on devastation and reminds the mind that what it sees is false. It undoes error, but does not attempt to go beyond perception, nor exceed the function of forgiveness. Thus, it stays within time's limits. Yet, it paves the way for the return of timelessness and love's awakening. For fear must slip away under the gentle remedy it brings. A miracle contains the gift of grace, for it is given and received as one. And thus it illustrates the law of truth the world does not obey, because it fails entirely to understand its ways. A miracle inverts perception, which was upside down before, and thus it ends the strange distortions that were manifest. Now is perception open to the truth. Now is forgiveness seen as justified. Forgiveness is the home of miracles. The eyes of Christ deliver them to all they look upon in mercy and in love. Perception stands corrected in His sight, and what was meant to curse has come to bless. Each lily of forgiveness offers all the world the silent miracle of love, and each is laid before the Word of God, upon the universal altar to Creator and creation, in the light of perfect purity and endless joy. The miracle is taken first on faith, because to ask for it implies the mind has been made ready to conceive of what it cannot see and does not understand. Yet, faith will bring its witnesses to show that what it rested on is really there. And thus the miracle will justify your faith in it and show it rested on a world more real than what you saw before. A world redeemed from what you thought was there. Miracles fall like drops of healing rain from heaven on a dry and dusty world, where starved and thirsty creatures come to die. Now they have water. Now the world is green, and everywhere the signs of life spring up to show that what is born can never die. For what has life has immortality. Lesson 343. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The end of suffering cannot be loss. The gift of everything can be but gain. You only give. You never take away, and you created me to be like you, so sacrifice becomes impossible for me as well as you. I too must give, and so all things are given unto me forever and forever. As I was created, I remain. Your Son can make no sacrifice, for He must be complete, having the function of completing you. I am complete because I am your son. I cannot lose, for I can only give, and everything is mine eternally. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received. And it is this that we would learn today. Okay, that is lesson number 343 of A Course in Miracles. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. Of course, we are not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God, because God doesn't ask or demand anything. God simply is. And God, being the energetic field of love itself, it gives boundlessly and abundantly. And its bounty is reflected in the beauty of the infinite universe, in the endless creative expressions of sentient beings, in the food provided to all unconditionally. It is found in the number of infinite stars, in all the planets, galaxies, and what lies beyond. The intelligence of love gives abundantly, because love is the self-sustaining aliveness appearing as all things seen in the infinite universe, meeting all of our needs unconditionally. Sacrifice is a thought that arises from the illusion of the time-bound mind, who thinks of scarcity, limitations, and lack. But love doesn't demand anything, because love is not a human character who can think of demands and sacrifice. The one that demands sacrifice is the illusion of I. And because we have identified with illusions, we forgot our eternal identity. And so we took on another role other than being. And what is a role except an actor's part in a play? The role of I in the play of time. And so there seems to be an identity problem. I say seems to be because in truth there is no confusion, no uncertainty, no denying, no questions, and no doubts about what is. The one that thinks it is separate, confused, and uncertain, the one that insists in denying its identity, the one that's questioning or doubting, is the illusion of I. Yet, in truth, there is nobody to be confused or uncertain. There is only one eternal love, one infinite intelligence appearing as all. And appearances are deceiving, and we have been deceived by the appearance of a limited character that thinks it is limited with limited resources. thinking it doesn't have enough, thinking it is not enough, thinking it has to struggle to survive, thinking it has to do, thinking it has to sacrifice in order to obtain. And so it thinks that in order to find the mercy and the peace of God, it has to sacrifice itself, as if it is giving up something real by sacrificing nothing, when in truth the peace of God is found in the absence of the one that thinks it can sacrifice, in the absence of I, in the absence of illusions. And what are illusions except what is never present and never real? And so, how can the end of illusions be a loss? How can the end of the illusion of I be loss if it never existed? In truth, we gain everything when we give up the illusion of ego control, because when the illusion of I disappears, what remains is the unlimited power of unconditional love. And love is free for all, and it gives to all, just as the sun offers its light to all unconditionally and freely. Love being the essence that permeates all things, appearing as all things seen right now. And so, how can salvation cost anything if we are already eternal love right now? How can saving us from what doesn't exist imply a loss, come with a price tag, or demand sacrifice? Salvation is freely given and freely received by all, because love is boundless freedom, appearing as all. Boundless freedom being the effortless state of what is. And so, salvation has no cost, because we are already free. And so, there is no amount of money that can save us, nor is there anybody that can save us, because we are free right now. We just need to recognize that we are saved already in the freedom of the present moment. And so we don't need to sacrifice anything to be saved. We don't need to travel to a holy site, nor need an intermediary to intercede. In fact, we don't need to do anything for us to be what we are, because we are the freedom we have always been searching for, waiting to be acknowledged in the gates of the present now.